feature all night long. It was me, Jamal Khashoggi, Larry Bird. Dude, it was wild, man. So many chicks, so many.
Many.
Hey, welcome to the So Many Chicks. We had a great night, dude. Freaking keg stands.
Everybody knows
Khashoggi.
Indiana State has the hottest chicks.
Yeah, the sycamores, dude. And I was sicking some more, pal. Welcome to the podcast, everyone. A lot of stuff we got to talk about this week. JJ Watt has been released by the Houston Texans. That's pretty crazy.
Do you think the Jays are the same name twice? Do you think his name is
JJ
Watt?
JoJo Watt? No, I don't know what his name is. I think it's Jimmy John's Watt.
Jimmy John Watt, get your ass down here.
Dude, I actually listened to the CEO, the founder of Jimmy John's on a podcast, and he kicks ass. He literally opened a sandwich shop because it was cheap, and he was like 19. His dad gave him 10 grand, and he opened a sandwich shop because it cost like $900 for all the equipment.
Justin James Watt.
Yeah, that's pretty simple. Yeah, I mean, what's up with that? He just asked to be obviously. We were talking about this a few months ago, or maybe a few weeks ago, about his where you said white NFL fans' wet dream of JJ Watt.
His blue collar rant.
Yeah, his blue collar rant, and we were like, and we were kind of almost like a pipe dream. We're like, could JJ Watt leave the Texans? That's crazy.
Dude, every time JJ Watt goes on a rant, I expect to hear Bruce Springsteen go 2, 3, 4 at the end. Yeah, it's always it's definitely a rant made for Blue Jeans. But he apparently the whole operation, from what I've been hearing, is just a mess in Houston.
Apparently, it's just crumbling.
Yeah. And it's looking like they're gonna force Desean to stay. Who knows?
Dude, I don't understand. Why didn't they try to trade JJ Watt? That's insane to me.
Yeah, I think that if I had to guess, I know the business doesn't work this way. This might be idealized, but maybe it was out of respect. Or it's like you've done a lot.
I think their whole releasing thing was out of respect, where he just asked for it and they said yes. And then Desean Watson's like, "What about me?" And they're like, "You stay right there. You sit."
To be fair, though, JJ Watt is a little bit more on the Carson Wentz side of things. I think the where
contract thing.
Yeah. He's not worth what he's getting paid right now, because he's
getting paid something like $18.5 million a year. Maybe I'm thinking of Chris Bryant, but JJ Watt's up there.
Yeah, he's up there. At one point he was the highest paid defensive player in the league. So, and he's not playing like the highest paid, he's not even the best Watt in the league. No. So,
people could say that his wattage is running low. He's not giving a lot of power. Did I lose you? Wait, you froze. Wait, hold on. I got to fix your internet connection. I don't know if you heard my joke. No, but that's kind of why I don't know why they didn't trade him. I don't know why they didn't try to get something for him. But also, what does this mean for Desean Watson? Are they going full rebuild here? Or are they going to make Desean Watson stay there?
They're going rebuild in a way that, like, dude, this rebuild is like the same way they had to rebuild after fucking Jerry Sandusky. Like, where they have to redo every level of it, from coaching staff to management to GM. Like, I think they're gutting that whole fucking operation, which I was thinking about. That was like this new guy they hired to coach. I can't remember who it was. I remember everybody was mad because it was another white guy. And it was like, they were talking about a lot about how, like, there's just no black coaches getting but listen, that job that's a sacrificial job. Whoever's getting hired for that job is just going there to get slaughtered. Like,
if they hired a black dude for that job, people would just be like, "Oh, really? You make a black guy clean it?" You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that job.
Run into a burning building? No,
dude, like literally. Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, no, fuck that. Like, I don't know who's psychotic enough to do that, but I guess somebody always runs for president too. You're like, who the hell are these people? Why would you want this fucking job? But I imagine everybody's
Tulsi Gabbard to coach the fucking Texans.
Yeah, dude. She's beautiful.
She really is.
Yeah.
That's why I voted for her 6 different times. What does this mean for Desean Watson though? Is he's just going to stay, or are they just going to gut him? Because they've imagine 2 years ago or whatever, how long ago they gave up DeAndre Hopkins. Imagine if somebody came to you and said, hey, the Texans are going to give up DeAndre Hopkins and JJ Watt for nothing.
I mean, you would probably say, okay, something terrible happened behind the scenes. You know, like, I don't know what's going on in that operation, but it seems like everybody wants out of that building. And it seems like the management is like, yeah, fair enough. You should get out of here. But could you imagine the people? Yeah, they had, you said Tyrann Mathieu, DeAndre Hopkins. They could have, JJ Watt, Desean Watson. I mean, they had a lot of fucking talent, and they
had it going on.
That was good.
They had it going on. They really did have it going on for a little bit. Right now, it just seems like the locker room seems like the halftime of the Bourbon Bowl before Bobby Boucher shows up, and the coach just has his hat, and he's like, does anybody have any ideas? The Henry Winkler coach.
I feel like you bring up the water boy as an analogy.
I have twice. As I was saying that, I realized that I have like twice in the last 3 weeks. But it's a good analogy.
You can tell what you and I have been watching recently, because remember when I was watching The Sopranos and I compared everything to The Sopranos for a while? Right now,
you said that my pants looked like AJ Soprano last week.
Oh yeah, well, you just straight up did look like AJ Soprano last week. But
hey, no bullshit. I don't want to break the curtain here, but I'm wearing the same pants right now.
Break the curtain?
Break the fourth wall. I don't want to. I'm wearing.
You got.
Long story short, I'm wearing
the and break the fourth wall mixed up.
Yeah, you go. Yeah. Long story short, I'm wearing the pants. You think they're going to franchise Desean Watson?
Yeah, I think Desean Watson's going to get. Who was the quarterback who kept getting franchised every year? And it was like
Dak Prescott.
Was it Dak? Wasn't there another one before?
Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah. But Dak Prescott was, I think, who I was thinking of. They still don't even know what the hell's going to happen with him. Russell Wilson wants out. Like,
is it that Russell Wilson wants out? Because I keep hearing conflicting things every time I look into it.
Apparently, everybody's saying you don't come out against the organization the way he did unless you're trying to get away.
What did Russell Wilson do?
Essentially, he just said, look, I'm getting sacked more than anybody else, which is true. Since he came to the league,
I saw that. Yeah.
And he's a mobile dude. It's not like, and he's an elite quarterback, because usually guys who are getting sacked a lot suck, or they're like the Ben Roethlisberger from back in the day where they're so big that they just hold on to the ball because they don't give a shit about getting hit. But he came out and said, like, you've got to give me an offensive line. This is too much. And a lot of people said that he was driving a wedge to get out, which potentially means that the theoretical quarterback market right now could be Desean Watson, Sam Darnold, the Raiders guy, Carr,
Derek Carr,
Russell Wilson, potentially
Rodgers.
No, shut up. Marcus Mariota.
Marcus Mariota that's a crazy poll. I haven't heard about Marcus Mariota in quite some time.
Well, what happened was they had an amazing game against the one where who was the quarterback who got face masked and threw that? It was Fitzpatrick. It was the Dolphins versus the Raiders, I believe. And Mariota came in for an injured Carr and just looked like just a monster. He looked like it was like one of those Taylor Heineke things where it's like it was a contract worthy second half performance.
Yeah. Also, shouts out Taylor Heineke on that contract. 2 years.
8.5 mil, dude. You play for 60 minutes. You give it all for 60 minutes and you make 8.5 mil. How dope is that?
He put his nuts on the table and fucking lowered his shoulder to the tune of $8 million. That kicks ass.
Yeah, playing for a team that doesn't even have a name. Oh, rules.
Yeah. The team formerly known as the Washington Redskins. Dude, it's kind of, you know me, I love off-season drama, dude. So I'm excited to see how all this shit plays out.
Potentially a lot of big shakeups.
It's gonna be interesting, dude. Adam Schefter's dick has got to be hard as a rock.
Everybody's saying that JJ Watt is gonna go to Green Bay because he's a Wisconsin guy, and Green Bay doesn't have a good.
Is everybody saying that, or is that like a Trump thing where you're kind of trying to wish it into reality? But people are talking. People come up to me on the street every day and they say, JJ Watt's going to.
No, because I'm not that hyped on Watt. That's just what I'm hearing. I'm hearing from, our rivals. Like, I don't want to give Colin Cowherd a shout out because we're neck and neck in the ratings, but Cowherd was saying that Watt wanted to go to Wisconsin, to Green Bay, back home, because he still lives there in the offseason. ESPN did a top 5 teams that are best for him, and they made Green Bay number 1. A lot of people, he's a white guy with a crew cut. I mean, how does that not fit in Wisconsin? And Green Bay,
he's from there too. Yeah.
Yeah, and but Green Bay's defensive ends are not that great. They got Tyler Lancaster, Dean Lowry, and Kiki Kingsley or whatever. But yeah, they don't have a really good edge rusher. But I don't know if JJ Watt really improves it that much. And it's like, so you're taking on. I mean, they had a lot of luck with Julius Peppers. They had a lot of luck. Obviously, Reggie White changed the franchise. But so they've done this before, where they bring in a kind of seemingly faded defensive star, and then Charles Woodson was another one.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Do you think that if he goes to a place like Green Bay or even any kind of contender, it kind of reinvigorates him to, make him feel more?
But that's the difference between Charles Woodson, Reggie White, Julius Peppers versus JJ Watt is those guys aren't injury prone. JJ Watt, he breaks like a vase, dude. He just gets hurt all the time, and he's covered in more armor than any player in the league. He looks like
he has a lot of dude. Yeah, he literally. I was gonna say that because I was looking at pictures of him earlier. Yeah, he has like double Stone Cold Steve Austin knee braces. Plus,
he looks like when I create a player on Madden and I put all the shit on him. I put like the visor, the huge armbands, the knee bands,
the butterfly neck thing on your quarterback.
99 speed, and you're like, nobody's ever worn that much equipment and could outrun Tyreek Hill. That's insane.
Yeah, he's just barreling down the fucking thing the entire time. Yeah, dude, I mean, if you're him, not speaking from Homer Brian Vokey perspective, where do you go? Do you go to Green Bay? Do you go to the Rams? Do you go to?
Not being a homer about this, I'm not that hyped on him.
I would go to where do you go? You go to the Bucks, you go to something because you want to win
Tampa
now.
Bay. You go to Tampa Bay, dog. If you're JJ Watt, you don't go anywhere else but Tampa Bay.
Because of the contender aspect of it?
Yes, you chase a ring, you go where it's nice and warm. It's only just around the bay. He lives around the Gulf. He lives in Houston, Tampa Bay. I mean, that's the same body of water. He just does a little hook shot, goes right out the other side. Huh?
You think he takes a boat to move all the stuff?
He would, wouldn't he? He'd do it like a boat all the way over. He would just like row on a truck tire over there.
Dude, we got to do a deep dive soon. Now that I just I thought of this, we got to do a deep dive on Yasiel Puig. You ever read deep into like the Yasiel Puig coming over here story?
I did. We had a hideout in Mexico. Yeah, I've read about that.
Yeah, ESPN, it's wild, man.
Great article on it.
Yeah, I'll put that together for next week. Actually, what's crazy is how big of Houston sports is big time declining. Some people were talking about this. Harding, Westbrook wanted out. They're gone. Mm-hmm. George Springer wanted out. He's gone. JJ Watt and Watson both wanted out. DeAndre Hopkins. Houston is just flushing the toilet on all these guys.
Yeah, I got to say, I felt bad for DeAndre Hopkins because the list that I've been seeing were Harden, Westbrook, Springer, now Watson. It's like Springer is not nearly as good of a ball player as DeAndre Hopkins is.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins he was still one of the leading receivers in the NFL, and he had a child throwing it. I mean, Kyler Murray is 5'2", and somehow he was still able to be number 1.
Yeah, Kyler Murray and Wee Man standing next to each other is real.
Dude, Kyler Murray he declined. Like, they figured his ass out.
That happens, dude. Any mobile quarterback that's not completely explosive gets figured out. Like, everybody but Mike Vick has gotten figured out.
I mean, Lamar Jackson has not gotten figured out in a sense that, I mean, even in the playoffs, he was a monster. Like, he's just,
but I think that Lamar Jackson is as explosive as Vic.
Also, Lamar Jackson was raised different. He was a pocket quarterback. All the way, even in Louisville, he was his instincts are pocket.